My girlfriend is pregnant, so let's get a divorce. Get out of my sight, you infertile 40-year-old.
My husband said that as he wrapped his arm around his lover's shoulders. But his lover stared at the ground while her whole body shook intensely. Her reaction is only natural. After all, she's My name is Emery. I am a 40-year-old businesswoman. I've always been good at studying, and after graduating from a high-ranked university, I began working for a foreign company. I worked in one of their offices abroad for many years, and since I returned to the States, I was given the position of department head. As I was excelling in my job, I also had a fulfilling personal life with a partner I loved. My husband's name is Noah. Noah was a classmate of mine in university who I began dating when we were both 21 years old. We were in the same faculty and classes, so we were super close the entire time we were students. We would study for tests together, and we got to know each other very well. Our friendship developed into a romantic relationship when he confessed to me. We began to date after we graduated and began to work full-time. 3 years after we graduated, my bosses told me I'd be sent to Japan for a 5-year-long work assignment, and Noah proposed. We would be long distance for a while, so I asked him if he was sure that was okay, and he told me he would quit his job and come with me. I was happy that he was that serious about getting married, and so I said yes. The two of us got married and went abroad. We went to Japan and started living together. I was super busy at the company, and my husband began working part-time in a neighborhood restaurant.
They gave us some side dishes again today.
Fried shrimp! Nice! Looks delicious. Since my husband worked at a restaurant, I didn't have to cook dinner. We could get by well enough with the food he'd receive from his job. We would travel around Japan on the weekends, so life abroad was really fun. 5 years passed in the blink of an eye, and we returned to the US. I began working at the central office of my company and became very busy. After working abroad at a restaurant so many years, my husband was great at cooking, so he started working at a restaurant back home as well. Our jobs and married life were going well, but we had one problem. We didn't have kids. We were already in our 30s, and I was beginning to think I wanted a baby. But no matter how much we tried, I couldn't get pregnant. I went to fertility treatments, but that still didn't help. The fertility treatments went on for 5 years, but didn't get close even once. It was getting tough on both Noah and I. Why couldn't we have a baby? I began to think that I have no value as a woman. After spending a lot of money on treatments and putting my body through a lot, we gave up on having kids. We decided it would just be the two of us. Since we went abroad so quickly after graduating university, we hadn't seen much of the US. So we began traveling across America. We would enjoy local delicacies and visit tourist sites. It was really fun. I enjoyed myself while imagining my happy future together with my husband. Things were going well at work too. I was promoted to the position of department head, and I worked hard with a large team. Among one of my new hires, there was a female employee I recognized. "Oh, Lily, is that you?" "Huh? Auntie?" Among our new employees was my niece. My sister was a farmer in the countryside far away. I hadn't met her in person in around 10 years. The last time I saw Lily, she was still in 6th grade. But from her name and the way she looked, I had a feeling it was her. It's been so long. How's my sister doing? Does she nag you a lot? It's really been a while. My mom is really strict. That's why after graduating university, I came here and began living on my own. Really? I'm glad you remember me. I had a feeling it was you. But I'm surprised. You work here. It's also a surprise for me to meet you like this. Are you a clerk or something? Huh? Ah, not really. Oh, really? I assumed you must be a part-time clerk. Most of the people working at this company are young and energetic. Huh? I got the feeling that she was trying to insult me. As if she was trying to say that an old lady like me doesn't belong here. We last met 10 years ago, and at the time I thought she was an honest and kind child. But it seems she's become pretty rude. Should I teach her some manners? It was time for our daily morning meeting, and the new employees all introduced themselves. My niece began to speak, with a pretentious-sounding voice. There are so many young, cool, and reliable seniors I can turn to here. I will do my best once I learn the ropes. She made a cute face, and I could see how the male employees' hearts were melting. Hearing her emphasize how young the employees are once again made me angry, but I held it in. Afterwards, I stood up and introduced myself to everyone. I'm the department head, Emery. We really value the fresh air that new employees bring to the company. We'll make sure to show you the ropes, so please do your best without worrying about making mistakes. Everyone clapped when I finished speaking. My niece stared at me wide-eyed. She had a guilty look on her face. That day, during the lunch break, Lily came to speak to me. Auntie. No, department head. What? Well, I'm sorry. About what? I asked her a little meanly. Well, thinking that you were a part-time clerk, saying that the company's mostly young people. You realized you said something rude, huh? I'll let this go. But if you do that to someone else, like a customer for example, that kind of attitude could get you in trouble. Understood. I'm sorry. Lily seemed to have realized her mistake, so I decided to forgive her. Really? The company Lily began working at is your job? Have you forgotten the name of my company? All you do is focus on vegetables, so you've forgotten everything else. Well, you're not completely wrong, but I'm glad that you're with her. Please keep an eye on her in my place. Yeah, will do. After talking on the phone with my sister, I did my best to teach my niece about my company. Of course, without favoring her over the other new employees. You made a mistake in this document. Be careful. Got it. I might have seemed strict, but Lily wasn't as good at her job as I expected her to be. So I did my best to guide her. She always replied to me energetically and listened to everything I said. But around that time, I learned about what kind of person Lily really was. We were on lunch break one day. I usually went out to eat, but that day was really rainy, so I bought a lunch set from a nearby deli. I planned on warming it up in the break room microwave and then eating it at my desk. Heading towards the break room, I heard the voices of some of the new female employees. Among those voices was Lily. I just wanted to use the microwave, so I walked up to the door without giving it much thought. But then, I heard my niece say something unbelievable. That old lady is so annoying. I'm sick of it. I couldn't believe my ears. Was she talking about me? Or about someone else? Intrigued, I stopped and listened in. Lily continued. She's my mom's younger sister. So, I guess it's natural she's like this. She was talking about me after all. But if she's married, Why is she still working full-time? I hate old ladies like her who continue clinging on to their jobs and work like this even when they're that old. How could she talk like that? I was shocked. Is that what my niece thought of me? The things she said were too mean. I was doing my best to politely teach her everything. But she thought so poorly of me. I might have been a bit strict, but I never went too far. So why does she have to say things like that? In front of me, Lily acted like she was a good girl. But realizing that she talked like this behind my back made me feel conflicted. After her training period, it was time for Lily to stand on her own 2 feet. She had no choice but to work on her own, but she made one mistake after another. She worked carelessly and caused trouble for many people. Naturally, that bothered everyone at our job. Even the male staff would get frustrated at her. I found it strange how someone like her ever managed to get hired. She graduated from a pretty high-esteemed university, but her memory was horrible, so I began to doubt whether her academic history was true. It took my colleagues and I a lot of time to cover up for her mistakes, so with her around, we became busier than usual. Around that time, my relationship with my husband was going through a rough patch.
Huh? Overtime again?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please eat dinner without me.
Ugh, fine. I already cooked for the both of us, though.
Sorry, I'm looking forward to eating the leftovers when I get home. Noah wasn't happy that I kept getting stuck at work until late. When I'd get home, he'd always be in a bad mood. Sometimes he'd even already be in bed. Since he was in the restaurant industry, weekends were busy for him, and he'd often go drinking with colleagues after work. Many days he wouldn't return home until past midnight. Because of that, we spent less and less time together. To think this would happen after we got along so well for so long. My niece then began doing another bothersome thing at work. She started taking time off regularly, saying that she feels unwell. Even if she made countless mistakes and caused everyone problems, there were still things she could do. But taking so many days off, other people had to take over her work, and everyone began having to work overtime more. As head of our department, I wondered what I should do. Having worries both at work and in my private life, I felt completely exhausted. My husband then did something ridiculous. It was on the weekend. I was at home resting and I had just finished eating dinner. My husband finally got home from work around 11 p.m. As he entered the living room, I saw someone was walking behind him. "Welcome home." "Oh, we have a guest?" I looked at the person walking behind Noah. It was someone I never imagined. She had a triumphant look on her face. But as soon as she saw me, her face turned blue. My husband didn't notice the looks on our faces, and he began talking.
"This is my girlfriend."
"Huh? She is?"
"Yeah, and I've decided I'll marry her."
"Wait, what are you talking about? Marry her?"
Don't get too shocked when you hear this. She's pregnant with my child.
"Excuse me?"
I'm going to take responsibility for this and marry her. She's only 18 years old after all.
"What? 18?
Don't take this the wrong way. She's already graduated from high school, and she's of age. It's a legal relationship. The fact she got pregnant proved to me that I don't have any issues. It's your fault we couldn't have a baby after all."
He looked at me as if he had won.
My girlfriend is pregnant, so let's get a divorce. Get out of my sight, you infertile 40-year-old.
My husband said that as he wrapped his arm around his lover's shoulders. But his lover stared at the ground, while her whole body shook intensely. Her reaction was only natural. After all, She's my niece. What is the meaning of this, Lily? Noah was surprised to hear me say his girlfriend's name.
Huh? You know Lily?
Without thinking, I began laughing. That's true, you two never met after we got married. Lily is my niece. She's my older sister's daughter.
What?
Noah began looking between us wide-eyed.
No way. You two are related?
Lily stared at the ground. I don't know why she lied to you, but Lily is 22 years old and works at my company.
Huh?
Noah was obviously shaken by everything that was being revealed to him.
Wait, you're not 18?
It seems the two of them met on a dating app. It was so gross that Noah would use something like that when he was already married. The two of them met up, and he became something like a sugar daddy.
Don't call me a sugar daddy. I was just supporting her because she didn't have money.
It doesn't matter what you call it. You admitted to having an affair and came to divorce me. You'll have to pay me alimony for this.
Well, I guess I have no choice. It doesn't matter if Lily lied about her age. She's pregnant, so I need to take responsibility.
Well, I acknowledge that's very valiant of you, but that doesn't change the truth that you had an affair. About me being infertile, I did some tests and saw I'm perfectly fine. I should be able to get pregnant without any problem. They don't usually recommend fertility tests to men, and I didn't want to force you to do anything. But have you ever considered testing yourself?
Huh?
She lied to you about her age and so on, so don't you think you should take a paternity test?
What? Are you saying Lily betrayed me?
My husband seemed unsure whether he trusted Lily or not. Lily was still very flustered about the fact I was her lover's wife, so she couldn't say a word. I stood in front of her and spoke clearly. I will tell my sister about what you did, and will report this to our company. I overlooked the fact that you complained about me behind my back and called me an annoying old lady. But I can't take this anymore. You're horrible at your job, and you lied about your age on a dating app. You're just too much. Even if you don't get fired, you won't have anyone to turn to. Lily's face became even more blue. If you've understood, leave. This apartment is under my name. When we divorce, you have no right to live here. Pale-faced, Noah packed his bags and left the apartment. I hired a lawyer, sent divorce papers to Noah, and claimed monetary compensation for damages from Noah and Lily. Lily's affair became a huge topic at work. Since she made so many mistakes and caused so much trouble for many people, her salary was drastically cut, and she was moved to another office far away. Lily couldn't stand her punishment, and she quit. After putting in so much effort to get a job, she barely lasted a few months. It was all just a waste of time. Well, she got what she deserved. In order to leave the countryside, Lily studied desperately and got into a good university. But once she enrolled there, she became really rotten. She knew she was attractive, so she used that as a tool to get other students to do her work for her. She rarely ever went to class and just played around, but she still managed to graduate. She had become lazy. So even if she had good grades and graduated from a good university, she was useless at her job. Of course, I told this all to my sister. My sister was livid and dragged her daughter back to the countryside. She now has to help out on the farm every day and uses nearly all the money she makes to pay me back. All she has for herself is a small allowance. By the way, it turns out the father of her child wasn't my ex-husband. Lily had other sugar daddies, but when she got pregnant, the others all disappeared. Noah was the only person who believed the child was his and said they should be together. But when he found out the child wasn't his, he left her. My sister plans on helping Lily raise her child, which is partly why she called her back to the countryside. I hope that Lily's personality improves a bit after she becomes a mother. Noah still works at the restaurant, but his life has become tough as he struggles to pay what he owes me. He lives a poor life, alone, worried about his debt every day. I'm focused on my career as always. I keep my employees in line and work hard every day. My worries are all gone, so I hope that from now on I will live a fulfilling life again. Thank you for watching.